Have you been wondering which Bose Bluetooth outdoor speaker is going to be the best? Because there's a lot of options and it's hard to decide should you get the Bose Soundlink Flex, the Revolve, the Max, or the Micro. So let's hear what these actually sound like outdoors, indoors, because a lot of people, when they're looking at speakers, they're trying to decide which one's better, which one's worse. And I think it really comes down to how easy it is to use in your real life and what are you looking for from your speaker? Where are you going to put it? If it's going in your bag, you want a smaller speaker. If you're putting it in your car and you're taking it to the desert, a Moab, or you're going to the beach with 10 people every day, then you're definitely going to want something a little bit bigger. Let's start with size and portability, because the Soundlink Micro here is going to be the lightest and the most compact of the bunch at 0.68 pounds, and it's going to be ultra portable because you got this silicone wrapper and it's going to have a silicone strap on the back. Next up is going to be the Soundlink Flex right here, and this second generation model is going to weigh 1.3 pounds. The Revolve and the Revolve Plus 1 or 2 is going to weigh 1.46 pounds if you have the Plus 1, or 2 pounds if you have the Plus 2. The Soundlink Max is going to be the largest by far at 4.9 pounds, and it's going to be coming with the removable rope handle. Then if you're looking at the overall audio output and design, each one is going to bring up their own sound setup, because the Micro here is going to have a single speaker, and on the back there's going to be a passive radiator. It's going to be surprisingly simple but very punchy, pretty much because it has the passive radiator on the back, something that a lot of these smaller speakers are mixing. And then you get to something like the Flex. And if you're looking at the Flex, it steps it up because it's coming with a custom transducer and it's coming with dual passive radiators on the back, front and back. So that's going to give it clearer sound and deeper bass. When it comes to something like charging, this is where you'll notice the difference between the older models and the newer models. So the Micro had come out in 2020. The Revolve Plus 1 came out in 2019. The Revolve Plus 2 came out in 2021. And these models are all using the Micro USB, something a little bit more dated than the new versions that are going to be using USB-C. However, the Flex is not going to have pass-through USB-C charging. Only the Max can charge other devices with the USB-C out. This is just going to be used as a charger, not as a USB out, and charge times are pretty consistent across all these devices. Not really fast charging. If you want to get to 100% battery, it's going to take you between 4 to 5 hours. This is going to be on our Bose Soundlink Flex. We just turned it on.
Battery full.
I'm going to turn it up to about 50%. It's completely flat. This is higher, 70% volume. This will be the Bose Micro. We're just going to turn it on.
Battery 30%. Connected to Pixel 9 Pro XL.
And it is connected to our phone here. And in the Bose Connect app, it doesn't really let you do much except for adjust the volume and have the party mode. It doesn't have an EQ you can adjust inside of the Micro. We're going to play our audio here. And this is going to be on. And if you cover the back on the table, it's actually going to muffle the bass. So you want to make sure if you're listening to it, keep the passive radiator on the back open if possible. If you're wondering about the app for your Bose Soundlink, we have our Soundlink Max right here. We're just going to open it. That's going to be the app for your Soundlink Max. You have your EQ. Your EQ has the 3-band right there. Bass boost, bass reducer, treble boost, treble reducer. It's not going to be the 7 or the 10-band EQs you get on the Sony and JBL. Here you're still getting the 3 bands. You also have your source, and that's going to be if you want to use your multi-point, your tips, your shortcuts, And if you just want to hear what it sounds like, we're going to turn it down. And if you want to hear what it sounds like with varying EQ levels, bass boost. Very significant in terms of the bass here. So if you want to hear it with treble boost, this is treble without the bass. This is treble reducer. A lot less bright. Bass reducer. Much more flat. This is going to be a flat curve. And this is if I max out all of them. All stats maxed. The cool thing about it is, let's say we want to replay our song. If you triple tap, 1, 2, 3, we're going to be able to skip towards the next song. So these are some cool features or just old school button tricks that you can use on your Bose that they do not necessarily tell you. So overall, you can see that the Max has the biggest sound. The Gen 2 Soundlink Flex also has very good sound. We also then have the Revolve, which is going to have that 360 sound, a little bit more muffled. And the Micro is also going to sound very nice. It's just that the Micro is not going to have the same output or the same power as its siblings. This is going to be on our Revolve here. Turn the volume up to 50%. 75. And I'm going to move around so you can hear the 360 sound. And if you're wondering why did we not review the Bose Color, it's because they don't really sell this as much. They're going to discontinue it, and now the lineup looks like these, and it doesn't really have space for this one. Battery life, it's funny. Battery life is quite a funny thing. So normally you would think that as you go bigger or smaller, you would get more, right? So battery life is quite funny that way, because really you would think that every time you go bigger in size, you would get more battery life. So on the Micro, you're getting 6 hours. On the Flex, you're getting 12 hours at 50% volume. On the Max, if you're at 50% volume, you're getting closer to about 20 to 24 hours, depending on what you're listening to in real life. And if you have it at max peak volume, you're probably going to be getting closer to about 4 hours with your Bose Soundlink Max. And that's just because it uses a lot of power in order to generate the big sound. So the Revolve Plus 1 gave you 16 hours, the Revolve Plus 2 gives you 17 hours. And in actually real life, I have the Revolve for years. I always thought this was giving me 24 hours. I never really need to charge it. The material on your Max, your Flex, and your Micro are all going to be covered in this silicone wrap. And that allows it to have more drop resistance, be more shockproof, and be more waterproof. And that's in parallel to what they did originally on the Revolves, because the Revolves were more like a cage, right? This is not engineered so much for ruggedness. It was like a portable speaker you place on the table, then you would throw it into a sand dune. But it also features something called position IQ. So regardless if you're having it face you this way or you have it on its back, it's gonna adjust the sound based on whether it's upright, flat, or hanging. And if you're using this in an indoor setup, you will find that it's gonna be much more obvious how good this sounds, even though you might have it in an off position compared to the competition or compared to other speakers even from Bose, like the Bose Soundlink Micro. Next, if you're looking at these Revolve and Revolve Plus models 1 or 2, these are coming with downward facing transducers, and it's going to be coming with an omnidirectional deflector so that it's going to be able to deliver 360-degree mono sound. Not stereo, but mono, and that's going to actually be very loud, and it's going to deliver a full sound, something that we had expected from a speaker like this. The real drawback was the bass is going to be really powerful, but the highs and mids are going to seem a little bit muddled because of that 360-degree sound profile. And then we have to come to the big boy here, which is going to be on the Soundlink Max. And the Soundlink Max is the only one that's coming with true stereo. And it's able to do that because it's coming with 3 front-facing transducers. That means there's going to be 2 woofers, 1 tweeter, and there's going to be dual 2 passive radiators built into your Max. And that's going to be able to create a wider soundstage, and it has a deep room-filling bass, and that's primarily because it's so heavy. And weight matters when it comes down to products like these, because if you have bigger sound, it has to be heavier, especially if it's going to be rumbling. Otherwise, you'll notice that the components and the speaker might be shaking, or it's going to be too powerful for the frame. And if you're wondering, does Bluetooth 5.3 matter over 4.2 or 4.3? For most people, you probably won't notice a difference, but if you really want the best Bluetooth with the best in terms of latency protection, I would say that the newer ones are going to be better for that. And now let's talk about codec, because the Revolve and the Micro, they basically only support SBC. But now as we get to the more modern Bose speakers, the Flex 2nd generation is coming with AAC and Snapdragon aptX support. Your Max is now coming with AAC and aptX. It's also come with the SBC. It's going to have high-res playback, and this has aux input on the back. So we're going to try it with the Bose Soundlink Micro. Turn it on.
30%. Connected to Pixel 9 Pro XL.
Now this is at 100% volume, and this is a single speaker setup from Bose. Well, it will sound incredibly full for the size though, so let's check out what the range is. And honestly, the Bose Soundlink Micro sounds good. There's a passive radiator on the back, but it's just not going to have the same depth of sound as any of the larger speakers. And that's just because of size. So anyone that tells you that size and drivers don't matter, they are really lying to you, because they matter when they come to this type of audio equipment. They don't matter when you go to really expensive stuff, but at this size, at this value, size matters. So this is the Bose Soundlink Flex Gen 2. We're going to turn it on. Now this is going to be 50% volume, 100% volume, and we're going to put this with bass boost on. There's the bass radiator. It's very secure, but the volume is not going to be as loud as what you get on the bigger speakers. But at this size, it's one of the best value plays you can get for any Bluetooth speaker, even though it's not that big of an improvement over the Soundlink Flex 1. So this is the Bose Soundlink Max. I'm going to let you hear what it sounds like on max volume and how it sounds like when I'm far away on bass boost. So this is not on max, this is at 20% volume, so this can get pretty loud. This is 50%. We're gonna be at 100 now. And this is a Bose Soundlink Revolve Plus. So just to give you some comparison, this is going to be a vertical speaker, and this was the best Bluetooth speaker just about 4 years ago for this price. I'm going to put it all the way, this is 50% volume, we're going to put it at 100%. you're interested in getting one of these Bose speakers, please hit one of our affiliate links. It really does help support our channel because we are struggling to survive and your support really helps us. So now let's talk about their signature sound differences because each one is going to sound different to your ears. And we have recorded some audio samples so you can better hear how they sound outside, inside, and how they sound with maximum volume as well as deep or big bass. So first let's start with the Bose Soundlink Micro, because this is going to be delivering surprisingly strong bass and the sound profile is going to be way bigger than the size. You can feel the better build construction here. It's just that when you have it on the highest volume, so once you're at 80% volume or higher and you're listening to things that are super bright or super bassy like hip hop, you will find that this won't have the same bass response as the bigger speakers. And that's okay because this is really meant to be a portable speaker that you can strap onto your bike or to your bag and not have to worry about it while it's still being very lightweight. Bose Soundlink Flex is going to offer better clarity and the bass is going to be surprisingly good. However, this is not going to be the loudest of the bunch. I will say if you just take one of these to the park or to the beach and you're hanging out with your friends, this might be all the speaker you need. And the best thing about the Bose Soundlink Flex is that if you pair them together, suddenly you have a full stereo setup where both of these speakers are going to be very powerful and together they're going to be very loud. And I would say if you pair these together, they sound so good, they might be able to replace a lot of small home audio systems just based on pairing them together. And if you had to ask me, the Bose Revolve line comes with a lot of bass. It sounds good, but a lot of people say this is going to be too bass heavy, while the mid-range and the high clarity is going to be not as crisp as you would want it, especially on higher volumes. And if you look and you listen to our outdoor audio test, you will hear that the bass on this sounds really full. It sounds as full as what you get close to the Bose Soundlink Max if you don't have this on bass boost. But if you're talking about the mids and the highs, it's definitely not going to be as clear and the vocals won't come out as crisp as this speaker. And actually, I think the Bose Soundlink Flex, the mids and highs are actually going to be clearer and crisper than what you get on the Revolve. And finally, the Soundlink Max is going to be the King Kong of the Bose speakers because it's going to have the best dynamic range, it's going to have a wide soundstage, it's also going to have consistent performance at high volumes. But I will say if you have this on 100% volume and you have all the settings maxed out, you could get a little bit of distortion if you're listening to something very scratchy or you're listening to something that has a lot of deep rumbles. I don't find that you can really hit that limit, but it is possible based on your EQ adjustments. So ultimately, what's my verdict on these Bose speakers? I think you got to go with what fits your lifestyle the best. Because if you want to go tiny and you want to go tough, I would go with the Bose Soundlink Micro. It's small, the battery life is okay, but you're not going to beat the portability, the lightweight, as well as the durability. This thing can survive drops, falls, and I've traveled with mine to the beach, Miami, trips, flights, and I've taken this everywhere and it still can take a beating and still sounds as good as the day I got it. Next, if you find a really good deal on a Bose Revolve and you're looking for party-filling sound that you will most likely use primarily indoors, but sometimes you use it outdoors, I would say that the Revolve Plus 2 and the Revolve Plus 1 could be your go-to. You could probably get them cheaper. You can get them on sale on the third-party market, and this has good battery life. It looks good. It just won't be as rugged and as durable as some of the newer Bose models. If you're looking for the top tier option, the Bose Soundlink Max is going to be the top tier because it has the biggest price, it'll have the biggest sound. But remember, this will skip the mic. This does not have a mic. It is really going to be a powerful speaker that you can take around with you, but not much more than that. And finally, our favorite speaker from Bose is going to be the Bose Soundlink Flex because it's the most versatile. I can throw it in the bath, I can throw it on the beach, I can throw it on the sand. It is well protected, and I can tell you this is one of the lightest, biggest sounding speakers that's going to be dual purpose because the Bose sounds good indoors, outdoors, and if you think about it, you could place one in your bedroom and one in your living room, and then you can use simple sync, and then you have music playing on both synchronized across your entire home. And this is why price matters, because with the advent of stereo mode and simple sync and all of these software features, by being able to combine them, it becomes more powerful than just buying one. So I would say you can get 2 of the flexes, and that's going to be better than just getting 1. It's the same story. If you get 2 of the maxes, that's going to be better than getting 1. It's just that, what is your budget? I would go with getting 2 of the flexes if you want to have a stereo sound system, or if you want to use them as party sync speakers, because they're going to be versatile. They have all of the benefits of the Micro outside of the small size. It's going to have not the same bass, but it's going to be more portable and more affordable than what you get with the Revolve, because you can take 1 max or you can take 2 flexes, but I myself would rather pick 2 flexes over a max. It's just going to be my personal preference, and that's just because the max is heavy. So with that, pick the one that's right for you, and thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and please hit that like or subscribe button. It really does help support our channel, and I'll catch you next time. This is our Bose Speaker Review 2025. I'll see you soon. Bye, bye, bye.